Good morning. Should be April 6, 2020 as you watch this. Today, let's see what we'll be doing. We'll be reviewing the properties, and we'll be taking a quiz on 10.6a. We've got a couple other things. Today you will not be uploading the activities here because I've got these two activities here that I'll get your score off of. I think it'll be very valuable if you do them. So, and again, I can't be there and insist that you do them and improve them, but do you want to learn something during our absence here? Then you'll write them down. Okay, so first of all, let's go ahead and review the properties, and then we'll review 10.6a. Got a couple things to practice on there, and we'll take the quiz. Let's get rolling. All right. Properties review. First of all, there are three basic properties. We have the commutative property, the associative property, and the distributive property. Make this a little bit smaller. The commutative property just says that you can move the numbers around when adding and subtracting. So this is the commutative property of addition. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 1 plus 3 plus 2. I just took and flipped the 2 and the 3. I moved them. I commuted. Remember crazy Mrs. Carruthers commutes back and forth? You can move things back and forth. This here would be the commutative property of multiplication. I can say that 1 times 2 times 3 is equal to 1 times 3 times 2. The same thing. I just moved these numbers around. I can move any of the numbers around. The order doesn't matter. Don't you remember the video? It just doesn't matter. All right, now we have the associative property of both addition and multiplication. The associative property says that you can group them numbers when in any way you want when you have a string of them put together. A string of addition numbers like 1 plus 2 plus 3, I can group here first, or I can do 1 plus 2 plus 3. So this is changing the order, associative property of addition and multiplication. That changes the groupings. Okay, so this one here, 1 times 2 times 3, where we group 1 times 2 first, is going to get the same answer as 1 times 2 times 3, and we group 2 times 3 first. Again, order of operation says we have to do whatever in the parentheses first, correct? All right, the distributive property just says that you can take 2 times 2 plus 3 in brackets like this, and you're going to get the same answer as if you distribute out the 2. And so I always put these little arrows. This is 2 times 2, and then we're going to add 2 times 3. So that's a quick review. This is 1 point if you want more. 1 point, let's see, 1.7a, 1.8a, 1.8b, 1.8c, I believe. And I may have the letters wrong on there, but they're all 1.8s if you want to look those up. Chapter 1 videos. All right. So just on your sheet here, I just wanted your number 1 through 5 up in the top portion, and I just got 5 questions for you. All right. What is the answer to this one here? Let me make it just a little bit bigger so you can see it a little easier. So x plus y plus z is equal to x plus y plus z. Go ahead and see what you do there. Okay, well, let's see. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check the order. X, y, z, x, y, z. So the order is the same. The only thing they've done is change the brackets or the groupings. So this is the associative property. That's not what I want. Made a cool sound too. So that would be C. All right, take a look at this next one. Make that larger. Look great on my screen, but probably not on yours. Go ahead and see what you want to do with that one. Well, it's not the identity property. We didn't talk about that. I'm not going to quiz you on that. It's not the zero property. I didn't talk about that one. In class we did, but we're not quizzing on it today. So the associative property would be changing the groupings. The commutative property would be changing the order, and that's what we've done here. A and B and B and A. This is multiplication, so this is the commutative property of multiplication. All right, let's try another one, see how you're doing here. All right, go ahead and try that one. Okay, this one here, I notice that this is where I would use these arrows to go from this to AB plus, sorry, my brackets are horrible, plus AC. Let me see if I can redo those brackets, make them look a little better. I'm getting like Sal Khan. Let me just grab the magenta. Yeah, it's really hard to write with this on the pad. The reason why they didn't put the brackets in is because well, the order of operations is going to give you the same answer. And they're just using the ability to put two letters next to each other instead of having to use a multiplication sign or a dot in the middle. So this one here is the distributive property. I distributed out the A. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this guy here, number 4. What are you thinking? Well, let me just check the order here. ABC, ABC. The only thing they changed was the groupings. So this is the associative property of multiplication. Yeah, checking the order is huge. If the order stays the same, it's not the commutative property. All right, I think I got one more left. All right, give this guy here a shot. Well, A plus B, B plus A, the order is different. This is the commutative property of addition. All right. Good enough for that. Now, what I would do is, you've got a little Schoology activity to do on this. We're going to match up some words and some definitions, or some phrases like this and some definition. I would just wait and do that at the end when you're ready to take the quiz too. So we're just going to keep going on. If you want to pause the video and go do it, that's fine. If you struggle with this activity, I'd go back and review these here and then maybe try this activity again. Okay, moving forward, we need to review our quadrilaterals. We started with this yesterday, and I decided to present it in a flow chart today. So when you think about it, here's your basic quadrilateral. This is its simplest form, just 4 sides. Notice that all 4 sides are different lengths. Therefore, you're going to have different angles. Nothing's parallel. If there's one set of parallel lines, then you know that this is going to form some sort of a trapezoid, because that has exactly one set of parallel lines. A trapezoid does. Now, the quadrilateral could also have an offshoot, which is the kite, which there's no parallel lines. It's 4 sides, but you have 2 congruent sides that are adjacent. So here's congruent sides that are adjacent. Here are 2 sides that are adjacent. And when you bisect them, you get a right angle. So that's your kite. Adjacent and congruent sides, 2 sets of them. So that's one set of parallel lines, and here's no sets of parallel lines, but some congruent sides. So then we move into the definition of a parallelogram. Everything else is a parallelogram. So we come down, here's your parallelogram that has, 2 sets of sides that are both opposite. The opposite sides are both parallel and congruent. So here's the opposite sides. These are parallel. 1 tick mark shows that they're congruent. Same here. Opposite sides are parallel, double arrows, and congruent. So if that's the case, then you can move various directions. If you've got 4 right angles, then that is a rectangle. If you have 4 right angles and 4 congruent sides, that is a square. If it's a parallelogram that just has congruent sides, then that is a rhombus. So make sure you've got this down and ready to review. I guess I am going to throw a quick 6 blocker at you. Let me see, where was I going to have you put that? So here is we're going to do a review activity, and then we've got a 6 blocker. Get you ready for the quiz here. So let's just go ahead and number 1 through 10 here, and let's try these shapes. Go ahead. I'm going to move my face somewhere. I'll just move it. I'll move it out, after a little while, so you can see the last one. Again, put these on your piece of paper. Number 1 through 10. You can use abbreviations. Okay, just going to move this up to the top by 3 so that you can get the answer to number 10 down there. Okay, let's run through the answers to those. Keep myself down in the corner for the beginning. That's a parallelogram. This is a rectangle. That's a square, trapezoid, quad. This is a rhombus. All sides are congruent. It's a parallelogram with congruent sides. We've got a parallelogram there. We've got another rhombus. This use 2 tick marks on each side to show that they're all congruent. This here is a trapezoid, and this here is a square. I lost some of the, I guess I didn't mark this one up, but I had all sides marked and had 2 right angles. I was hoping people would say a diamond here. It looks like a diamond, a baseball diamond, but a baseball diamond is really a square. It's just rotated. All right. Let's do a quick 6-block or 2 one more time, just to make sure you are ready for this quiz. You can put that down in the, I believe it's in the right-hand corner of your review sheet. All right, let's see how you did on that. I guess I didn't do the answers for that one. This one here would be a rectangle, obviously. These 2 sides are congruent, and these 2 sides are congruent. We've got 4 right angles and 2 sets of parallel lines. This here would be a parallelogram. Let's just double check here. This we'll take a measure real quick. I measured it quick. It is a parallelogram. If you said it was a rhombus, you know, you were pretty close, but these sides here are a little bit shorter than this side by about 1/4 of an inch. This here is going to be some sort of a quadrilateral because we don't have any parallel lines. These sides here happen to be the same, but we can't, we haven't got any parallel, so this one here would just be a quadrilateral. This one here, and I know you're going to say, well, what about the yesterday? Well, in this case, the lengths of these sides allowed us to make that. I don't think we could have made that yesterday without overlapping. You could try it, though, and see. Maybe it would work. This one here, this is a trapezoid. This here is a square. And this one here, of course, let's get rid of this little guy here. This one here is also a parallelogram. And we have opposite sides here that are parallel and opposite sides that are congruent. All right, I think you are ready. That's it for the day. Good luck. Let me just run back to the front screen here. So you have the, we've done all of this now. We've done the 6-blocker and the practice. You should have those on your sheet. You don't need to upload those today, but you can go ahead and take the 10.6a quiz, and you can also do the 10.6a, you know, this review activity. Sorry, you can do the 10.6a quiz, and you can do the review properties activity now, and those will go straight into my gradebook. Good luck, and I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be doing 10.6b. Thanks. Bye.